we're tremendously pleased to be joined now by 5,000 role model mentor and the president of AR Landscape Design, Mr. Alexander Reyes. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about your story.
Wow. Basically, I could say that I was the rose that grew from concrete. I grew up in deplorable conditions here in Miami-Dade County. I grew up what we call now the ghetto, the slums, the trap. Came from a broken family, didn't have a mom or a dad ever. Basically, I've always been rich all my life. I've always had a dream. And I just wanted to, growing up as a kid, now as an adult, I could reflect, and once I know better, I could do better. So I always said to myself, I'm going to be polar opposite of what they gave me as childhood. So I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a friend, and most of all, I'm a mentor to this community.
What kind of dreams did you have as you speak about dreaming? What was your dream as a young person? Man,
my dream was to be where I'm at right now with you. Sitting somewhere, giving me a podium that I could share my story with a lot of troubled youth that I see that this world has. Someone that I could identify with, someone that has been on the totem pole of their life that wanted to end it. They didn't feel worthy. Being bullied, a white Hispanic dude going to an all-black school. You could only imagine what I went through. My mother was a single mom. My biological father abandoned us. So imagine my mother met a man that not only was my stepfather, but he was also African American. So just imagine going to an all-black school and kids picking on you because your stepfather was black. And they didn't know how to gravitate or grasp that around their brains. So I was just determined. Nothing will break me. Nothing. I've been through hell and back. I was raised by wolves. Nothing will break me.
Wow, from those beginnings to now a very successful entrepreneur and businessman.
Yes, sir.
What initially led you to start your own business?
True story. I have a childhood friends that we still connect and we're still together. We were cutting grass and we was like 10, 12 years old. So I lived in a neighborhood back in down south. Back in the days, they used to call it Hollywood Square. It's right next to South Ridge. So during my summers after school, I remember I got a lawnmower. I got it to run with my friend, and I was like, look, you know what, let's go. So we would cut grass for like $3, $4, $5, just to keep ourselves occupied, in a drug-infested area. So basically, going into that in the roots and me growing into what I am today, but I give the attribute to all of my street knowledge and all of everything that I've gone through in my life. Though I never went to college, I will not sit up here and lie. I got a PhD in getting results.
Absolutely. What were some of the initial steps that you took as you formulated your business?
Man, if I could speak to you candidly, that I know a lot of kids out there are going to be seeing, I've never walked a straight path. I did what had to be done. I have that can-do attitude. When people ask me, what do you do? Whatever it takes. So growing up, I did a lot of bad things. Broke the law, sold drugs, did whatever it takes. At the age of 15, I was already living on the streets by myself. So what I did was I started, putting things together. I think that I flowed a lot with nature, because nature is the only thing that no one can take away from you. So what I did was I started getting my first money, the first $300 that I got. I bought my lawnmower. And from there, it's just catapulting. I haven't stopped. I've always, boots on the ground and running, Had kids at a young age, and I couldn't afford the internet. So I could actually tell you, I could show you blisters and scars on the bottom of my feet, me pounding these streets with homemade flyers.
Wow.
Going to neighborhoods, going up to people, talking to them. But it's very hard to sell yourself when you're 20 years old.
Right. And
they're looking at you like, who's this person, And my grammar wasn't as perfect as it is today. Wow. So imagine you living in a high-end area and this kid's coming at you sideways and they're looking at you like a thief. It was very hard. So those things kept me momentum. To this day, I'm hated upon. To this day, I'm in a field that is very hard because they sell themselves for nothing. So I have a different mentality now. I soar with eagles. I don't listen to chickens.
As a leader of your company, what advice would you give the 5,000 role model students who are burgeoning leaders,
Right.
who want to become businessmen?
Man, the first thing that I say, and this is very hard in this Instagram era, no kid has discipline. All of our kids, they want to grab fruit from the floor. They don't want to get up on the tree. They don't want to get bitten by anything that's up there. So I challenge you to be disciplined. My success is solely based on discipline. When my friends used to be in clubs and partying, and I was hitting books. Mm-hmm. I was reading. I was teaching myself how to design.
Wow.
And today I could say I could pat myself on the back, and I challenge anyone that wants to design a house.
Wow.
Yes, sir. On
Wow.
any level.
Wow.
I taught myself how to read and write.
Wow. What are some ways that you would recommend for our students to learn more about business and entrepreneurship?
Well, it's funny you say that because I never raised my own kids with the thought of chasing money.
Mm-hmm.
If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So money's going to come to you automatically. So what I tell the kids when I mentor and when I speak to kids out there, what I tell them is follow your heart.
Wow.
Don't listen to the noise. And that is the best advice that I can give them, is discipline. And there's no other word to success. And I've spoken to big people, and I have spoken to billionaires, even millionaires, and all of them go back to the same thing, discipline.
Follow your heart and be disciplined.
That's it.
5,000 role model mentor, Alexander Reyes. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
We're honored to be joined by 5,000 role model mentor, entrepreneur, and former contestant on BET's The Grand Hustle, Mr. George Reyes. George, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Bright.
George, so you're a former 5,000 role model student.
Yes,
Can
I
you
am.
talk about the impact that the program had on your life?
Well, the program had significant and tremendous impact on my life. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for the program. It really put me on a carefully charted path that protected me from a lot of the ills we see in society. Mm-hmm. Growing up in the inner city, there's a lot of challenges I face. And so the 5,000 Role Models program gave me a lot of hope, gave me a lot of exposure and the opportunity to really not allow my circumstances that I grew up in to define who I am. Because of all the supportive resources, the reinforcements about being a productive citizen and going to school, getting my education, having positive role models around me to emulate, it really played a tremendous impact in who I am today.
Wonderful. You've been a real advocate for business and entrepreneurship. Why do you think that it's so important for 5,000 role model students to engage in this world?
Well, I think it's really important because owning your future is owning your destiny. And oftentimes brown and black boys, they have the lowest, well, the highest unemployment rate. Mm. And having the highest unemployment rate is something you can't overlook. And you are able to craft and charter your own destiny by entrepreneurship and business ownership. If nobody else will put you on and hire you and pay you the salary you deserve, then it's probably time for you to do it yourself. Mm. And there's a lot of young men who are very creative, who have really great ideas, and they should look into different avenues and explore entrepreneurship. It's not for everybody, but it definitely has a lot of rewards, a lot of flexibility. I wouldn't be able to do half of the things that I'm able to do right now if it wasn't for me being an entrepreneur, like acting And running a business, being a professor, being a business consultant, all of the things that I'm doing right now is because I control my time. So when you control your time, you control your destiny. You control your time, you control your dime.
Absolutely.
So.
What steps can students take now to be able to create their own economic opportunities in the future?
Well, you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel if you're looking at entrepreneurship and you want to get into business. Just look at putting a little grease on the wheel. So looking at different businesses, business opportunities that exist currently, studying the market, doing industry analysis. Every good idea doesn't translate into a good business opportunity. So it's very important to do your research because you will pay for what you don't know once you get in business. The other recommendation I would give students who are looking to get in business is work in a business, gain experience and exposure before you go out there and become an entrepreneur. There's a lot that you can learn. And thirdly, I would just say, if you don't know what kind of business you want to get into, but you know you want to be an entrepreneur, explore the opportunities of franchising. So franchising is something that takes the guessing game away from how to operate a business. It teaches you everything you need to know. For instance, McDonald's is a franchise, so is Burger King. They send you to school for about 2.5 to 3 weeks, and they teach you everything you need to know about operating a franchise system. So it's a great way to make money, at least a multi-segment ownership. I'm a franchising expert. I studied it at Georgetown, and I'm in the process right now of onboarding my own franchise. So it's certainly a great way to accumulate wealth if you don't know what you want to do.
Wow, that's great to hear. What was your experience like on BET's The Grand Hustle?
Well, it was a really great experience. If you had an opportunity to see the show, there was a lot of challenges, a lot of adversity to overcome. The show taught me a lot about resilience, and it also taught me a lot about success. Sometimes success is not always a glamorous thing. Sometimes success can suck because people are trying to suck the success out of you when they see it. So it's very important to work hard and not be discouraged by people who are naysayers or who maybe potential haters, to focus on what you're trying to do. So consistency is everything, and determination. At the end of the day, you have to have hope and determination, and that's what carried me through all the competitions. Having the opportunity to work with T.I., a guy who's worth nearly $80 million, and also be on a nationally syndicated show is not something that could have happened without the blessings of the 5,000 role models, really. It equipped me for a lot of the challenges I faced. So this is my second primetime project on TV, and I'm really excited, and I may be headed for a third pretty soon.
Oh, that's great to hear. Any final words of wisdom for our 5,000 role model students who are watching today?
Absolutely. I would say to the students that are watching that I came through the program as a mentee, and now I'm a mentor. So to whom much is given, much is required. And after you go through the program, you matriculate through the program, it's important for you to come back and give to your community, to volunteer your time, to also write checks to the program that's helped me, that's helped you, and that's helped us all. So this program is a wonderful program, not only for men, but also for women, because what it's doing is it's preparing our men of tomorrow to really be there for our women. You know, so the 5,000 Role Models program, you know, it really helped me exceed my own personal expectations, and I use it as a personal resource to really facilitate my career goals and trajectory in life, along with academics. And you can do the same thing. But once you're done using the program for those benefits to yourself, come back and really give back to the program.
Wow, what a tremendous message. And you are a testimony as to the impact of the nation's premier dropout prevention and mentorship program, the 5,000 Role Models. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
We're pleased to be joined by 5,000 Role Model mentor and CEO of the Sir Callaway Group, Mr. Philip Callaway. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Mr. Callaway, how did you initially get involved in the world of real estate?
Well, I initially got involved in real estate kind of by happenstance. I had a job that I enjoyed doing, but one day my boss came to me and told me that he couldn't pay me anymore. And I was forced in a situation where I started looking for other jobs, but I didn't want to be in a situation again where I didn't do anything wrong, but I didn't have a job. So I started looking at where I could do entrepreneurially, and I knew I was good at sales. So I went into I took a real estate course and sat in it, did well, and then just kind of started and used my sales expertise from my previous job to build a business for myself.
So for those students and community members who may be looking to get involved in real estate, what are some initial steps that they can take?
Well, if they're looking to get involved in real estate, I'd say look to, build yourself, so that you can eventually buy something. Essentially, all the things that happen in our community are a product of the people who live there. And if the people who live there take pride in the community they live in, then the community itself will change and become better. So one way to do that is to actually own the property that you live in. There are certain savings and things that you're going to have to do in order to take that journey. But I think that's ultimately the journey. That's what you should be looking to do. Now, if you want to sell real estate, now that's a wholly different market, but you can do that. And if a student wanted to get involved in that, I would say start early. While you're in college, you can take the real estate exam online. You can take everything for real estate online. So you can do it in your spare time while you're practicing football, practicing basketball, while you're studying for your homework. You can do a couple hours a night, and eventually you can take the test, pass the test, and then do real estate, build your real estate on the side while you're in school, so that when you become a professional, you're one step ahead.
What skills would you say that our students, while they're taking their coursework in class now, are particularly applicable to a career in real estate?
Math, for sure. Math is the foundation. If you want to make money, you got to know math. And so I think that math is really, really the first thing you want to do. Outside of that, it's people skills. It's the public speaking. It's the being able to have a conversation with someone and be able to create a connection with someone. So those communication courses that you might take as a joke, those are the things that will help you be able to have a conversation with someone. And real estate is, sometimes people joke and say, real estate, you're doing psychology, because you got to listen to people's problems. You got to learn about what helps them, makes them tick, what needs they have, what wants they really have, and it's a lot more than just selling them a house. When I take on a new client, I'm getting to know that person. We're creating a relationship. I have to know your most intimate financial details. You want to feel comfortable before you share those things with me. You don't want to open up your checkbook, your wallet, your bank account to a stranger. And so if I have to convince you to open up that stuff to me, we have to be able to build a rapport. Just like we're sitting here having a conversation right now, I have to be able to have these same conversations with all of my clients. And so taking those communication courses, those psychology classes, really developing good listening skills, those are things that will help you not just in real estate, but in any sales position.
You've been involved with the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project for a number of years now. Tell us about your experience.
I feel like number of years doesn't even qualify. I've been a 5,000 role model, I feel like half my life now. Wow. I joined the 5,000 role models, I would say maybe sophomore year of high school. Wow. And we were only 500 back then.
Wow.
So I was one of the 500 role models at my school, and really stayed involved after I went to college, and kind of volunteered at an event here or there. But really, Mr. Ingram, Brother Ingram, really, he got me back involved when I was working in my previous job, and he really pulled me in and got me involved where I'm donating and taking kids on trips and really working with the different programs that you guys do. And it's been helpful, not only for myself, but really to interact with the kids. I have my mentee from a few years ago, Benji. Him and I still communicate via Facebook and Instagram regularly. And every once in a while he'll hit me up. We go to lunch and we communicate and talk. And really, I try to be a mentor for him, like what 5,000 Role Models was for me when I was in high school.
Wow, that's wonderful. What would you say are some good ways, as we close out this segment, for our young people to increase their level of financial literacy?
I think that most of our young men have bank accounts. If they go set up a Chase or a Wells Fargo or Bank of America, whatever bank you want to go to, right? You can easily set up tracking systems to understand how you're spending your money. And if you understand how you're spending your money and where you're spending your money, I think that that will allow you, day by day to start taking control of your finances. I think that if they start saving little bit by little bit, that will eventually build a nest egg that they can go buy a house with.
Thank you very much for joining us,
Not
Mr.
a problem,
Callaway.
sir. Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much
your
having
service.
me. Please, yeah.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
We're pleased to be joined now by 5,000 role model mentor and president and CEO of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, G. Eric Knowles. How you doing?
I'm great. Always in your company. I'm doing good.
Well, it's great to have you here today.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about your role with the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce.
Well, I've been running the chamber now going on 5 years. Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce has been around since 1974, advocating for black business because of the lack of opportunities with black business, doing business in Miami-Dade County, doing business with the school board back in 1974. And here we are in 2018, soon to be 19, and still fighting those same issues. So that's the need and the purpose of the chamber. But my role as the president, I'm out advocating for businesses each and every day. Not just businesses. Our mission is to engage and create opportunities for economic and social transformation in our community. So when we talk about social transformation, it's like wearing this tie. This is about us as young black men helping, or me as an older black man helping younger black men gravitate toward things that are positive.
Why do you think that it's important for 5,000 role model students and really all of our students to learn more about business and entrepreneurship?
Well, the reality is when you finish high school, you're going to have to get a job, or you're going to start a job. And in a lot of instances, it's not even finished in high school. There are a lot of young men in middle school, high school, and some young men and women in elementary school that are starting their own businesses. So the opportunity to learn and to be mentored by businesses is important. In particular, if you have a particular goal in mind, that you need to seek out someone who is doing that professionally. Either it's a big brother, a big sister, or a cousin, or uncle, or a grandfather. They've had that experience. And so what we don't do enough in our community is to mentor through that way and learn. If you want to be a doctor, who's a better person to learn from? Is to go sit down and talk with a doctor.
Right, absolutely. What are some things that they can be doing now, some tools that they can be developing to prepare themselves to excel in the field of entrepreneurship?
Well, it's finding that niche, that thing that makes you wake up in the morning, that gets you excited. You don't need an alarm clock because you're so excited about whatever that might be. For instance, my daughter, she ran track, and she's her first year in college, and she's working on a product that inspired her while she was running track. And so now she's working on that each and every day. So again, if you want to be an entrepreneur, and I would, if you have that in you, everybody can't be an entrepreneur because you got to be self-motivated.
Right.
And then you have to have people around you, and you have to have folks that are around you who are going to motivate you also. So you got to build a team around you. It's one thing, a lot of people, well, I know how to do this, or it's my idea, but an idea can't go any further than what you can take it. And if you have a team around you, that team can help you push and propel that idea so much further.
You speak about teamwork, about the importance of mentorship, learning about business. Who were some key mentors in your life?
And that's interesting. I would say my grandmother and my mother that encouraged me to be myself. And that's what I have been really for the most of my life, is really focused on who I am and developing me as a person. And even now I'm transforming and even becoming more of what's inside me. We don't use what is inside. There's so much inside of us that we just suppress and don't pull out of us. Like I've just got my certification to teach yoga.
Wow.
At 63. And so I'm in that spirit of I'm just beginning in life. I'm not shutting down. Where a lot of people, older people, they have a career and it's at the end of that career they're just gonna ride off into the sunset. I'm just beginning.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. What do you see for the future in terms of economic opportunity in South Florida?
There's a lot of opportunity. Everybody wants to be in South Florida, whether it's in Miami-Dade County, Broward County, or Palm Beach County, or any point in between. There is a lot of opportunity for black businesses, for anyone, for women, for minorities in general. And it's just a matter of finding that niche. School board has still $400 million in bond to put out. The county has billions of dollars. Broward County School Board, Broward County. When you think about procurement opportunities with both the school board or the county, they spend over $1 billion a year just in buying products.
Wow.
And so what are the opportunities there? And so again, in terms of entrepreneurship, when you talk about technology, the young folks, they're the ones who have that brain width to create the social media platforms. And when you talk about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, et cetera, Snapchat, they're all over it. I mean, that's where they spend the day on those devices all day long, and having that ability and acumen to then help those others, us old heads, as I say, to navigate that platform.
You've been a consistent supporter of the 5,000 role models for many years.
Absolutely.
What do you think the impact of the program has been here in South Florida?
Well, it speaks for itself. When you talk about how the Congresswoman has taken an idea, and that's what I'm talking about. That's entrepreneurship, really, because this is obviously she's working through the school board, through the school system, but this was an idea that came from her, and she saw it to fruition, and it has grown from 500 role models to it's over 5,000. I mean, it's not just in Dade County anymore, and it's a program that not only impacts young men and women, because she's, as she always says, she isn't just doing this for the men, she's doing it for the women who will have good husbands at that particular time. But there are others who are also creating programs, and really it's based on what she has created with the role models. Right. And a lot of people get twisted and they say, well, it's why are they copying? It's not copying. It's what do they say about copying? Is I forget what that term is. They say it's
flattery.
Flattery, yeah. It's something about you're basically paying homage to the person who created the idea.
Absolutely, Congresswoman Wilson, creativity, innovation, and now expansion. And we thank you, Renaissance man, G. Eric Knowles, for joining us.
Hey,
thank you.
It's a real pleasure. Thank you.
If you want to get involved with the nation's premier dropout prevention and mentorship program, the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Project, give us a call at 305-995-2451, extension 2, or visit www.5000rolemodels.com. We hope that you get involved with the 5,000 Role Models. Until next time.